So here we are, and I see we have quite a few people tonight, 55 participants right now for our Rohatsu all-night sit. And tonight, of course, on Zoom, in the middle of a horrible worldwide pandemic that seems to be always getting worse. There is a bright side to it, and that is the technology that allows so many new people to come and see and participate with the Village Zendo. People from all over the country and people from all over the world. Are there any Bolivians tonight? I think we do have some people from our Bolivian Sangha here. So, bienvenido a la Sangha Boliviana. Shinryu gave me the words to say to them. I'm so glad they're here. Let's see. My name is Musho, and although I lived and practiced in New York City for many years at the Village Zendo, I now live in upstate New York, in the town of Catskill. So Rohatsu has been a tradition here at the Zendo, and sitting all night in our space in New York City was a very powerful practice. For those of you who have not practiced with us in our space in New York City, the rear windows, we're on the 11th floor, and the rear windows face east. So in the morning, we see the sun rising over Queens and Brooklyn, and the sun peeks right through the Manhattan Bridge. And it's really very beautiful. And on Rohatsu, it's especially dramatic when the sun rises. I hope if some of you want to or are able to make it all the way through the night, you have a window nearby, so maybe the dawn light can come in. That doesn't take into account that people are different time zones, which I didn't think about. But if you make it with us all the way to the end, it won't really matter what time it is. It will be a joyous event when we get to the end of a long night of practice. So I want to say also that Rohatsu is not a competition or an endurance test. So you just listen to your body and feel free to go and return as you want to. I've devised this schedule tonight very evenly in 25-minute periods with 5-minute breaks so that you can tune in and tune out as you need to. When we do this in the Zendo, we do much longer periods. We also have long breaks, including one break. We usually have one break at like 1:30 in the morning where we have some food served. And we've had a tradition of lovely rice and miso soup served at maybe it's 1:30 in the morning or something like that. So if you wanted to have some food and take a break and then come back, that's what this particular Rohatsu is designed for. Another thing you could do is come back and rejoin us in the morning. At 6:30 will be the beginning of the last period. And if you wanted to just join us, we'll do a little bit of chanting and end then. That would be wonderful too. I have one more note here. I was contacted by Lisa Nakamura. I see you there. Welcome. And Lisa asked me if I would, first of all, she's a distance member. She's living in the Ann Arbor, Michigan area. And she has requested a remembrance of her uncle, Koji Shinsaku, who died last month. He was 83 years old. And tomorrow is the 49th day memorial of his death. And he was a practicing Buddhist born in Los Angeles. and being of Japanese ancestry was confined to an internment camp here in the USA during World War II. That is one of the many unfortunate moments in US history. So a blessing from all of us to Uncle Koji Shinsaku. In Japanese, Rohatsu means 8th day of the 12th month. And it is the day that most of the world's Buddhists have identified as the anniversary of the historic Buddha Shakyamuni's enlightenment. So we're celebrating his Enlightenment Day. And the story goes, after years of strenuous and unfruitful spiritual practice, Shakyamuni sat on a little hill under a tree and vowed not to get up until he achieved clarity. As he sat, his thoughts were filled with doubt, as demons of desire and delusion taunted him. He forged on through the night, resisting the demons who eventually left in disgust. He then became calm. Looking up in the dawn sky, he saw the morning star shining, and suddenly the clarity that had eluded him naturally appeared. He touched the ground in gratitude and said, I am awakened, together with the whole great earth and all its beings. So every December 8th, we commemorate Shakyamuni's enlightenment by sitting in meditation all night. In Japanese temples, it's called Rohatsu. So happy Rohatsu to all of you who are with us tonight. The story of Buddha's enlightenment is a lovely story. And it's his statement at the end that really always grabs me. There's a grand, wide generosity to his realization. It wasn't his enlightenment alone. I really love that about what he said. His enlightenment statement includes the whole earth and all the beings. And not only that, it actually also includes all of time. Because here we are, more than 2,500 years later, living in Shakyamuni's enlightenment. It's amazing. I feel like it was a very generous proposal from Shakyamuni, but also a challenging one. It means that his great enlightenment includes the great earth and all the beings, but also all the suffering. All the suffering in the world is included. And I'm sure the suffering in ancient India was tremendous, just as the suffering is here in the 21st century. Shakyamuni is asking us to include all of that, all the suffering and all the joy. It's amazing. If you have any doubt about Shakyamuni's enlightenment, tonight you can see what it is for yourself. Let's just try to experience what he experienced. That's what I like to do on Rohatsu. Just kind of imagine being Shakyamuni somehow, wherever you are, sitting peacefully in Shakyamuni's generous enlightenment, just as it is. Just a whole night of experiencing the rhythm of our breath, experiencing our thoughts, and actually the whole range of our thoughts we'll have time to look at, with all the demons and doubts and the angels and insights, all those things that go through your mind, boring things and just being tired, wondering when the period will end, all of those thoughts. We're just going to let them come and go and breathe. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to sit in silence and breathe all of that. All the beings and the great earth itself our surroundings, the rooms we're in, our homes that we're lucky enough to have. We're just going to breathe. And we're going to breathe in all the causes and conditions that have brought us together tonight. It's a miracle, actually. All of you can hear me. You're all over the world. And here I am in Catskill, New York. This technology is really amazing. It's a miracle. We are very lucky and very blessed to be able to practice together tonight. To be able to do this is really a luxury. It's not to be taken for granted. We sit here without having to ask any questions. We don't have to answer any questions. We don't have to attain anything. Of course, questions, answers, and attainment are allowed, but not necessary. Not necessary to our Zazen. Another point that I really love about Shakyamuni's enlightenment, his enlightenment story, is that he had worked very hard to reach that point. And he had a lot of intention. He really wanted to know. He wanted to answer the question of life and death. And then when he saw the morning star, that was what he needed to find out and to find what he was seeking. It was really hard work. It's like the hard work our Zen teachers ask us to do. Sitting in Zazen isn't easy, and doing it for hours and days and months and years is very difficult too. But that's what Shakyamuni did. It was hard work. Now, I don't know what many of you are seeking, or if you're seeking anything. But I do know you have the intention to practice. I see you all out there. It's already late, 10:15, and you want to try this practice. I know you want to follow Shakyamuni's example. And when dawn comes, maybe you will find something. But maybe you'll only end up with a headache from sleep deprivation. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe you'll find out something about yourself that you weren't sure about before. So tonight I'd like to read you a poem that will be the end of my talk here. It's a wonderful poem called Song of Zazen by 18th century Japanese Zen Master Hakuin. He's one of my favorite Zen ancestors. Was an amazing writer and also a visual artist, which particularly attracted me to him. He's a great, his paintings are great and his cartoons are great too. He's very fun drawings and also a very witty and a very wily Zen teacher. Now, the Village Zendo has used this poem actually as a study text. I think some of you may remember, if you've been with us for a while, Song of Zazen, we used it as study text on one of our summer retreats. And this particular translation is by Robert Aiken Roshi, one of our contemporary masters. So here it is for you tonight, offered as an inspiration for Rohatsu. Song of Zazen. All beings by nature are Buddha, as ice by nature is water. Apart from water, there is no ice. Apart from beings, no Buddha. How sad that people ignore the near and search for truth afar. Like someone in the midst of water crying out for thirst. Like a child of a wealthy home wandering among the poor. Lost on dark paths of ignorance, we wander through the 6 worlds. From dark path to dark path we wander. When shall we be freed from birth and death? For this, the Zazen of the Mahayana deserves the highest praise. Offerings, precepts, paramitas, nembetsu, atonement, practice, and many other virtues all arise within Zazen. Those who try Zazen even once wipe away immeasurable crimes. Where are all the dark paths then? The Pure Land itself is near. Those who hear this truth even once and listen with grateful heart, treasuring it, revering it, gain blessings without end. Much more if you turn yourself about and confirm your own self-nature. That self-nature is no nature. You are far beyond mere argument. The oneness of cause and effect is clear. Not 2, not 3. The path is put right. With form that is no form, going and coming, never astray. With thought that is no thought, singing and dancing are the voice of the law. Boundless and free is the sky of samadhi, bright the full moon of wisdom. Truly, is anything missing now? Nirvana is here before our eyes. This very place is the lotus land, this very body the Buddha. So let's enjoy Hakuin's blessing without end and honor Shakyamuni tonight. Thank you all for being here and listening to my talk and sharing this night with our Sangha. So we're going to take a short break for 10 minutes and we're going to start at 10:30 and go all the way into the morning. I'm really looking forward to it. And I will speak again then. So thank you very much. And we'll start at 10:30.